Oh, okay. We are being recorded. Awesome. All right. Good evening. This is the Rapid Eye Technology Skills for Life Thursday night. I'm Tanya. I'm pretty sure at this point I know everybody here. So, hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
That may change as people come on. We may end up with, I don't know why, we end up with people joining us a little later on, but maybe they just remember and go, oh, I got to get on. So if you can remember early, we kind of have a pre-party for like 15 minutes at 6:45. So that's kind of fun.
It
So
was.
there must be incentive to get together just a little bit earlier, I guess.
But sometimes we have
So
an after party.
oh, yes. I loved the after party. Last week was great. Okay. So Alan's got our whiteboard up right now. And there are all of the skills for life. And the symbols, and these are international symbols that represent these specific skills. Our first one is thought, that all our thoughts are creative. And we're really going to see tonight how a lot of these work together. But our thoughts are creative. And you can kind of, if you can get the presence of mind to ask yourself, what are my thoughts creating? What am I creating with what I think about all the time? Perception is how we view those thoughts, how our beliefs from our past experiences, from our DNA, from things our mother told us, wherever it came from, those perceptions color how we see the world, and we are all different. So we all have different perceptions of the same events. And it's based on how we feel about it, what our beliefs are, what our experiences were. Okay, then the next one is choice and accountability. That in our world, there are at every step of the way, we have multiple choices. When we get up in the morning, do we get up and go to the bathroom and brush our teeth and get dressed, or we just go back to bed? Choices. There's hundreds of choices at every second of what we could be doing, how we could be shaping our lives. And then accountability. Are the choices that we're making getting us the results that we want? And we have to be accountable for the choices that come up in our lives, because if we can see, oh, that didn't work, be accountable for that. And then you can make a different choice. Cause and effect. What we put out into the world comes back. And tonight's abundance and gratitude. Abundance and gratitude work together. Gratitude is the engine that can bring about what it is you want more of in your life. When we're grateful for it, we can focus on the good things, and it brings us more good things, because the universe operates in abundance. We get an abundance of whatever it is we focus on. The next one is health and healing. And that all has to do with our bodies, how this physical being that we inhabit while we're here on this planet, how it's doing, and how to heal that. Healing on all levels: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional healing on all levels. Harmony and rhythm, being in harmony and rhythm with the natural way of the universe and the way this planet rotates around the sun, and all of the seasons and everything that is all part of that, and the rhythm of it. There's rhythm in so many things. So those are the skills for life that we focus on in Rapid Eye Technology. There are more that you can explore, and but these are the ones that we focus on. Our other community pieces that we talk about are HHF, that's Help My Hair's on Fire. Um, when things are difficult, that is a resource. That is one of our ways to reach out to our community. And you don't have to tell the story. You don't have to get caught up in um, what happened. You can just say, hey, right now I need some energy, and send that to anybody in the group, and they will let everybody know, hey, Tanya needs some energy today. And I so appreciate Linnell, because she's been sending me lots of Reiki lately, and we've needed it. The next one is the Rapid Eye 4-step self-care protocol. And this is a great tool to help you get out of whatever isn't working, to shift where you're thinking, shift your focus to what you do want and what is working. The next one is the universal 2x4. These are the things that come up in our lives over and over and over again that you go, oh, this has happened before. This really isn't pleasant. This isn't what I want to create. So that when those things come up, especially the things that repeat, you can pay attention. This is where the accountability is. And shift that, change it, make a different choice. So that, because if we ignore those universal 2x4s, we're going to get the Mack truck. And the Mack truck is the big things that hit us, that really, really knock us off our path, knock us the train off the tracks. And sometimes those are good. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, is that it's important to even have gratitude for the Mack truck, because that's where some of our biggest lessons come from.
Yes.
The next one is pay attention inside now, acronym for pain. And it's really important that we're in pain, if it's any kind of pain on any level, to pay attention to that. It's the body's way of saying, hey, help, something's going on and it needs to be addressed. And then the last one is cancel that. And that is a wonderful tool, especially when it comes to our thoughts and things that we say, where we don't want to put that energy or that thought out into the universe. Cancel that and then reframe that with something coming from the positive. There are other things on the whiteboard. There is a full explanation of the Rapid Eye 4-step self-care protocol that you can download. Feelings list. There's a few other things there that are kind of cool to explore. Okay, thank you, Alan, for the whiteboard. All righty then. Okay, so it's good to see your smiling faces. People are joining, yay. And like I was talking about earlier, this week I've kind of been looking at gratitude for the things that are hard. Because that's where where your learning really is how to really look at those things that when they come up, it can be very difficult. I've been listening to several podcasts. I especially love Mel Robbins. And she was talking about being in an airplane, flying back from a vacation with her husband, and how all of a sudden they hit some really, really rough turbulence. And it threw her into her body's automatic fight or flight reflexes. These are the things that how our brain affects our body. And she talks about being in a sense of dread and bracing. And I think we've all been through that on some level at some time. And it's important that we remember when those feelings come up, how to use our tools. Because, boy, a lot of times when I'm upset, yep, I forget to tap. Um, the other one that we've not really talked about a lot that's really a good tool is called 4 square breathing, box breathing, remembering to breathe out or breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, let it out for 4 seconds, breathe back for 4 seconds. That can slow down our body system. But in my experience, the best thing that helps me is the 4-step protocol, because I can really focus on what's not working and what it is I want to trade that in for. Because the universe understands a trade. You know, if I say, well, I want to lose weight, what does that word connotate to the universe? What is that saying to the universe? I want to lose it.
Loser. And you might have to find it again.
Exactly. How many of us, if you lose your car keys, you want them back?
That's right.
I lost my phone. Oh my gosh, you want that back. So
Yeah.
the word lose, our brains, our nervous system associates that word lose with I want that back.
Yeah.
So with the 4-step process, you're using the IRT technique, which is trading in what we don't want for what we do want. And which is just like if you have a car and you choose to get a new car, you're going to trade in the old car. Do you expect to get that old car back?
Yeah.
No. Most of the time, we never even see it again.
Mhm.
Somehow it automatically disappears out into the universe, and we're totally okay with that because we traded it in for what we do want. So
true.
that's why that part of the 4-step process really helps us focus on what we do want and helps. And the other parts of that, the eye patching, the emergency process, those pieces really help calm down that system that we have hardwired to womp, 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 danger, dread. I had a big experience with that a couple weeks ago when I found out that I could no longer have people that are living on my property living here.
Mhm.
And it was really difficult. And I was in a huge spiral of, oh my gosh, dread. And that was affecting my whole body. I couldn't think about anything else. It made me sick to my stomach. I had to go down and tell my good friends, hey, I have some bad news. This isn't going to be a viable place for you to live anymore. When I felt like, and they felt like, they had nowhere else to go. And it was really, really difficult. And my MO, my thing, oh my gosh, Linnell has done so many sessions on me about avoidance.
Yeah.
Because I will avoid conflict. I will find new and creative ways
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
to
That's me too. Yeah.
avoid. So actually what happened was, I was making myself sick. I did not sleep all night. We were in the middle of training last week before. Yeah, and I did not sleep all night. I created a horrible headache. I was sick to my stomach. I had diarrhea. I was a mess. And so what was happening was my thoughts were totally affecting my whole body and keeping me in that feeling of dread because it was all I could focus on. But once I said to everybody here in the house, okay, I'm going down. I got to go tell them. They need to know so that they can start making their plans.
Plan. Mhm.
And when I went and talked with them, it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. It was so much easier than I had built it up in my head. I had made it like it was going to be absolutely awful. But when I was able to sit back and go, okay, I'm grateful. I dropped into the gratitude. I am so grateful that everybody was understanding. They weren't angry with me, and I could focus on the future. What is it we're creating from this? And the universe answered by things just clicking, things just happening, because the focus was on the solution and on being grateful. Because once we were grateful about it, okay, this is going to open up new things for everybody, new possibilities, new choices, new ways of looking at things. And that's one of the things that I see is it's bringing in all of those other, the thoughts, the perceptions. It's shifting my perception that when I can be grateful, be in gratitude of things in life that I would have seen as hard, difficult, something I needed to brace about or dread or worry. If I can shift myself into gratitude, then the universe responds with, okay, this isn't so hard. This is pretty easy. We can get through this. And that's what happened. And still seems to be happening with this situation. Everything is working out. Sorry, we're gonna have a little barking. The kids just came home. Okay. My dogs have to tell me when people come and go in my house. Okay. So one of the things I really wanted to do is, what happens to us when life gets hard? Where do we, what do we start doing? Um for me, my brain will chew on it and I'll start worrying. And to me, worry is the absolute opposite of gratitude. It just takes me away from where I want to go. There's an interesting quote by the Dalai Lama that I really, really liked. If a problem is fixable, if a situation is such that you can do something about it, you can make a choice, do something about it, then there's no reason to worry. If it is not fixable, then there is no help in worrying. There is no benefit in worrying whatsoever.
So Tanya,
Yeah.
I have to share because I had property incidents too. And I really love everyone who lives on the property right now. We're in a lot of peace and harmony and I love it. But Stacy caught me right as I opened up the utility bills and they added up to $1,900. And I knew in that moment that I don't have it. And she goes, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to ask everybody to move out, to leave." And part of that was because I had been talking to you and I thought that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But then I said, you know what? This week's on abundance and gratitude. Tanya and we always walk in the energy of whatever class is coming up. And I thought, you know what? You're going to be 70 years old in a few years. Why are you worrying about stuff like this? I have almost coming up 68 something years worth of experience that says I'm going to survive even high utility bills. And I want to be grateful. I just want to live in gratitude. I don't want to walk around every day pissed off, and I don't want to walk around bad mouth and PG&E, and I don't want to, I just don't want that energy anymore. I just don't. Mm-hmm. And so I'm driving down the road and I just said, you know what? Whatever will be, will be. What's the worst case scenario? They turn off the lights. Oh, well, that'll be a nice experience for everyone, won't it? And then I started laughing and I thought, that'll be weird. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? And it's like, oh in my head, I had this dream. I know I'm ruminating about it because I dreamed that I met someone and they were going to build me a windmill on the property. you know, one of those turbines, right?
Yes, a turbine.
And I want one. Anything to bring down these bills and all that. And I know I've talked about the property quite a bit on this class, and it seems to be a good learning ground for me. But as soon as I decided to be happy anyway, and whatever will be,
Yeah.
it'll be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I am, look at my face. I'm in gratitude. And
Yes.
I get to experience this.
Yes.
I've never had to worry about a bill in my life. And this is a weird new experience for me. And I feel responsible for others and for Kelton and my mom. And I'm like, it's all up to me. So then I started singing Whitney Houston's One Moment in Time, where I'm racing with destiny and it's all up to me. And I said, okay, I'm up for it. I'm up for it, no matter what. Short of selling my body on a corner, I'm going to work it out.
Feed pictures on OnlyFans? That might help.
Oh my gosh.
So I've got a question for this. How do you discern? There's lots of people that benefit from all of the literal electricity that is produced there. So where's the boundary that everybody contributes toward that? Even if it's on a sliding scale, value exchange still matters.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
Because there's got to be a way to do value exchange, because it's like building trust with the universe that absolutely we're creating the pathways for this, that there's awareness, that.
Yeah. I hate to mention to anybody on the property, because they always go, well, then teach another training, create something else. And it feels like it's all up to me. Yeah. And it creates me being alone.
So this create a new reality.
Yeah, this time I just did it different. I just said, I'm turning this over to the universe. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. Yeah. So I'm just going to be with it in gratitude and go, look what I get to experience. I went almost 70 years without having to worry about bills. I've never had any problem with money. And all of a sudden I do. Mm-hmm. So it's just another experience. So I'm grateful.
Well, and we also can have Nikola Tesla show up in one of your dreams and show you how to do a torus field and get energy. I mean, why not?
Electricity is free. It should be in my book. You could pull it.
Okay.
I like Marion's suggestion just to just set the intention that everyone that needs to contribute will contribute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so when we are confronted with times,
I keep doing that together,
where we are dreading or we are bracing, and you can feel your shoulders start to come up to your ears. And you can feel your brain circling down that path of, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. And it could be this and that could happen. And I'm worrying. What can we do? What are our tools to get us out of that state so that we can find the gratitude in that situation? Anybody have some suggestions?
Consciously choose it.
Consciously choose.
I
Yep.
step outside. I have been doing that this entire last year, whether rain or shine, moon, sun, stars. I step outside, take a deep breath, and I am filled with gratitude. It just flows, and I receive it and I send it out every time. It has never not been there. So
awesome. Thank you. Yes. Nature will do that. grounding, grounding to that Mother Earth and appreciating the beauty that's all around us.
I
Yeah.
have a technique for making it a choice, which is
Okay.
just it's like I can't take this and say that until I'm sick and tired of saying that. I can't take this, and then I can take this. I can take this. And then lastly, I will take this. I can't, I can, I will. At that point, even if it's grieving because somebody died, it's like I'm making a choice to walk through it. It's not something thrust upon me, I'm choosing. And so I can't, I can, I will.
That's awesome. I like that a lot. That works really good. I can see that. It's almost like the balance walk where you're saying that negative to where you're really feeling it, and then it's like, okay, then we can get to the positive. And then yes, I'm choosing this and go for it. Cuz these are our biggest lessons. These moments in our lives where it's not working out. How do we choose to meet those lessons? Because, I have people in my life, when hard things come, they're always the victim. Everything just happens to them and they have no choice in it. And that is somewhere that we can get stuck and people can wallow in that. They get stuck in their story.
Yes.
And we can, our perceptions, those things that happened to us and our beliefs when we were a child, fit in with that too. It's like, oh well, this happened when I was 3, and it's exactly like this, and I, they did that to me, and I can just tell that story to myself until I am so depressed. And that is a choice.
Mhm.
If we can choose gratitude for the lesson and use our tools to get us out of that, it's so much better. It's hard to be around people who really associate with always being the victim.
Yes.
And um
Tanya, the other one that I have been hearing Linnell say very consistently, I can do hard things.
yes.
And I love that. It echoes back to me. And there is a friend of mine who is a retired special ed teacher, and he's a drummer in a band that we love. And he is also a photographer. And he shared his granddaughter's picture the other day. Just this little toe-headed blonde angel, like 4 or 5 years old. And he said it this way. He says, I hope you can go all into your Thursday with the confidence level, her name, who just yelled out of nowhere at the breakfast table, I'm adorable and I can do almost anything. That revved me up for the day.
I love that. Yeah, out of the mouths of babes. Sometimes they say things and it's like, yes, I'm going to borrow that energy because that's great.
And then, Linnell's quite a babe and she can do hard things.
Yes.
Thank you. I know.
Okay, so we're talking about focus up about using our tools. So the box breathing's a good tool. The 4-step self-care protocol, awesome tool. I love it. I use it all the time. And the more you use it, the quicker it gets. It's like I can bust through that so fast. It's funny too. My dogs, if Eric and I are having an argument or something and something's going on that I'm upset and I'll start doing that, my dogs, like, they get in on the energy of that. they're like, whoa, mom's doing something weird. They can feel it. It's really kind of funny. I've watched them react to it. It's hilarious. But they feel the energy shift just like we do. Um, get a session, get a rapid eye session. That's going to help shift you back into gratitude. Talk to a friend. I just the other day I called Linnell and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I think it was last week Linnell talked about the turtle on its back. Well, I've been one of those people that turns over a lot of turtles. And one of the turtles that it happens to be in this situation with them having to leave the property was starting to get really depressed themselves and saying, "Oh my gosh, we've got nowhere to go." It was all, it's the end of the world and I'm just going to drive off a cliff. And I was taking that on going, "Okay, well, what do I got to do to fix this?" So I called my friend Linnell, who reminded me that it's not my problem. I don't have to solve it.
And your mom, taking care of your mom, comes before friends and the general public. Just
Taking care of anybody else. Yeah. I have to focus on what's important to me and not let everything else get in the way. Because maybe my wanting to fix that, jumping in the middle of it, us going into debt, getting a mortgage, buying a small house for them to live in, that takes away their learning for the situation.
Yes.
Because that's where my brain was going. I wanted to fix it. But is it my job to fix everything? No, it's not, and it never has been. Somewhere along the line, that became a belief of mine.
I just watched Linnell make an aha moment. Good job, Linnell.
yeah, thanks. I was
You're
like,
welcome.
oh, that's what I do, and I got it.
But she was really good at reminding me that that's what I was doing.
Oh man, I can teach it. I can teach it. I know it. And sometimes when it comes to me and mine and what I'm responsible for, you know what? Wow. I go from this to help me, my bonnet's on too tight. I don't know what's going to happen, but you know what? I just want to trust the process. Let's see. I'm just going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I
the
can't take
worst.
it. I can take it. I will take it. And I'm going to go to, I am able to do hard things. Thanks.
Yeah. The other one I keep reminding people of, and I keep saying to myself is, what if it all works out?
Yeah.
Or what if it could be better than we even imagined?
Yes.
What if it all works out? I'm open to that. I'll take some of that. And so those are the things I've been grappling with this week. um, because really, our brains, when these situations come up, and our brains get hijacked by the emotion of it and the drama of it and the dread, and our focus goes to all of that, our brain also will hijack our body. And then we're going to end up in the same situation I had, where I created a massive headache, no sleep, diarrhea, stomach ache, couldn't eat for days. And, it's like that is not working for me either. So I'm going to use those tools. I'm going to, phone a friend who may be able to say to me, I've experienced this before too. And this worked for me. Or, because when we're in that state, we can't find the solution. Wasn't it Einstein that says something about the state of mind that got you in the problem you're in the first place is not going to find a solution to get you out of it? It's really important that 4-step self-care protocol changes your state. It gets you out of that thinking that got you stuck in the first place. And that's why those tools are so important. Because oddly enough, when I am in dread and I'm fixating and I'm focusing and I'm bracing for the worst, I can't remember a dang tool. And I don't know why I do that to myself. So I think I'm going to come up with I'm going to use my brain to think of some solutions, whether I've got to put up um, post-it notes on my refrigerator or on the mirror where I comb my hair in the morning or right beside my bed. Here's your tools. Use them.
Tanya, repeat what you said. What if it all works out?
What
Lynette
if it all
said,
works
I
out?
can do hard things. And what was there was one more, and I'm putting it in
Well,
the chat.
Nancy's was I
Oh, I got
can't,
that.
I can, I will. There's the 4-step self-care protocol. Talking to a friend, using your tools. Figuring out how to shift that perspective so that we can be in gratitude. Because gratitude is amazing. Once gratitude set in motion, stuff just happens. The universe takes over in abundance. Whatever we focus on, we're getting in abundance. And I would rather focus on the things I enjoy than focus on the things that are hard. And that I'm going to learn a lesson from it and I can move on and get to a better place. Let's see. Yeah. What if it all works out? You got that one? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Because we get hijacked. We get hijacked by our thoughts, and our brain will hijack our body. Fast.
That happened to me today, as a matter of fact. I stayed up all night. Well, I went to bed about 3, rewriting phase 4, the manual for phase 4, because I was called and realized, oh my gosh, it's like that year I forgot to print the practice manuals, right? This needs to be done, and it needs to be done right now. And I can do hard things, so I just stayed up and did it. And I got all the way down because I need to send it to some people. And I couldn't get the table of contents to work, and I didn't know what to do, and Daniel couldn't fix it. And all of a sudden, it hit me like 2 hours ago. Hey, I have a really smart brother named Alan. I'll bet that he can fix the table of contents. And lo and behold, when I asked him, he said, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Well,
So
and
there,
sometimes all you need is time or a little bit of sleep. Changes your state too. Sometimes that's all it takes. I don't know how many times I would get a new knitting pattern and be so excited and sit down with my pattern and this beautiful yarn I found and my knitting needles and start reading and go, I don't understand this at all. And I'd read it again and I'd read it again. And somehow my brain just wouldn't get it. And I'd say to myself, okay, I'm going to put it down. And a lot of times, either I slept on it or I got busy making dinner or something else happened. But when I went back to it in a different state of mind, I could look at it and go, oh, yeah, I remember how to do that. Or again, I could use a tool of phone a friend. And my friend Stephanie up in Washington knows all kinds of knitting things. And she would go, oh, there's a YouTube video on that. You can watch this and it'll show you exactly how to do that. And that wouldn't have been a solution that I had thought of the moment I was in angst and upset with myself because I didn't understand the directions. So those tools are super important to help us change our state, get us focused back on gratitude and things like that, so that we can bring about what we really want in our lives. I have a activity. Okay. Oh, 25. All right. Okay. All right. So we live in a time when we are blessed with much more than we realize. Seems that a natural disaster reminds us of those things that are really important. And I just had a friend. I was in Redmond last month at a dog show, and there was a forest fire just outside of Sisters, which is about 10 minutes away from Redmond. And one of the gals at the dog show with showing her dog, her house was put on evacuation notice. And she was in a state of worry and dread and all of that. And so that really brought this one up, you know, into the fore for me. So if
Mhm.
you have a paper or pencil, or you can just jot something down, or notes in your phone, imagine that you're asked to leave the country immediately, and you were told you could only take 5 things.
Hmm.
Think of those 5 things that you would take with you. What would those 5 things be? Everything else you possess will be left behind.
Can one of them be my storage unit?
I don't know how you do that.
Oh my goodness.
Reminds me of the uh, thing that we did at Skills for Life one year, rescue boat, where I failed terribly.
Oh yeah, that was at Social Stamina. Yep.
Lifeboat.
Lifeboat. Yep.
Life
Yeah.
boat.
But how does that make you feel when someone says you have to leave now? You can take 5 things. What feelings come up for you?
Panic.
hmm You can feel your shoulders start to go up over your ears.
Ears. Yes.
I guess it would be my mom, my brother, and everybody else on the property.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but on some level, okay, your mom and your brother may be your responsibility, but are you responsible to get everybody else?
No,
Oh
but
my.
since I've been in that scenario and we're gonna evacuate in 20 minutes or whatever, I turned to my mom and I said, again, an act of faith, Mom, pray. Because she said to me, I'm not leaving. I go, well, I'm not letting you burn. So I'm gonna pick your ass up.
Oh my gosh.
And anyway, she
Yeah.
did pray and the fire turned. And again, if you really want something bad, ask Renee Johnson to pray for it.
Ask her to pray that Pat and Alvin get the house. Yeah. So those feelings that come up, it's the bracing, the dread, the angst comes up. Okay. So think about those 5 things you take with you. Okay, so now you can imagine that you don't have to leave the country. So take a deep breath. You're okay. We don't have to deal with that right now. How does that feel?
Relief. Um,
Yeah.
the pressure on the chest kind of goes away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So consider, is everything that you left, does that represent your abundance? Are abundance and excess synonyms?
Oh.
That's
I don't think so.
that's a fun word to say.
Synonym?
It's like claimant.
How do you feel about those 5 items that you chose to take with you?
Feel about it. Still choosing.
Yeah, like for me, I would take my phone, and I guess I would consider the charger along with it, but you know, because one of the things that is important to me is family pictures, and I have scanned every one of them into my phone. So I wouldn't
Wow.
have to lug all of those boxes and tins and everything of all the, because I've gotten, my mom has handed over to me all of the family pictures. I have them all, and I've been scanning them all into my phone. So to me, it's those memories that are important. But and my animals, of course, well, I wouldn't be able to bring them all, but I could take the dogs and the bird.
Let everybody else loose, right?
Right, right. It's nothing I can do. I don't have a trailer big enough to get the llama, the 2 sheep, and the 7 goats in it, let alone
Pigs.
the 2 pigs and the 3 horses. So yeah, it 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 starts to, for me, it also brings into a question of, is all of that abundance, or is it weighing me down?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of responsibility that maybe I may make another choice about to free up some of my life force energy? What was that?
Did I share?
Yeah.
When I think about this, a while back, sometimes I had too much stuff, and I think about like, what can I take with me if I died? I couldn't take one iota, nothing with me, so that tells me what's important to me. Really, you can't take nothing when you transition.
No.
So that's kind of put things in perspective for me. But if I had to leave out the country, I would just, take some basic things like my iPad and uh, my phone and pictures, but even pictures are in your memories. So I have my memories, and the excess stuff I have is things that I've drawn to myself, things I've created. If you do it once, if you have that same vibration, you could do it again. But that energy, your energy draws things to you. So uh, I moved to Georgia during the pandemic for a couple of years, and I drove, a lot of stuff back to myself that I had here is still in storage, so that you can create it again.
Yeah.
So for me, that puts in perspective, knowing I can't take nothing with me
Yeah.
if I die. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great, Cheryl. Also, I look at too, if I were to pass, what are my loved ones going to do with all my crap?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I have a lot of yarn. And fabric, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm one of those ADHD crafters. I like to start stuff.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, and I just went through this with my mom and dad, because my dad passed, and my mom was really good at first in like packing up his clothes and taking them to Goodwill, and moving on from that. She did that on her own. But when we had to get her out of that house, I could not believe all the stuff my dad had stashed all over the place. I
Oh
thought
really?
mom was the hoarder. Mom didn't know half of the stuff my dad had stashed all over the place.
Oh wow.
So, it's that energy cluttering up that house, because I always try to remember, my friend Linnell talks about feng shui and your energy, and how much all the stuff we carry around with us, what we see in our experience as abundance. I have an abundance of yarn. Am I ever going to be able to use it all? Probably not. And whoever's around here when I'm gone is going to go, what are we going to do with all the yarn? So, it's some of those things that I think about. Are those things important? Are they cluttering up my life to the point that it's blocking other good things from having space to come in? Um, this all goes back to choice. And I can choose something different that may change the abundance in my life to, You know, are you filling your life up with stuff and things, or with experiences and people and um travel and that kind of thing? Things that feed your soul. Find out what it is that feeds you. Because at the time, yarn became a bridge for me to friendship because I was in a group where we did a lot of knitting together once a week. Well, when I moved up here, I lost that community. But I'm still lugging it all with me. So is it serving me at this point?
Are you still knitting and crocheting?
I knit a little bit now and then. Nowhere near. I mean, if I were to knit something every day, I don't believe that by the time I would have a natural death, that I would ever get to all of the yarn that I have.
No, you have an abundance.
But is that abundance slowing me down, bogging me down energetically,
Yeah.
creating more issues for me that I'm unaware of? So I'm gonna start looking at some of that. It's been great. My friend Pam, when she moved in, she has helped me go through every closet, every cupboard, and get rid of stuff. We have been taking loads and loads at the garage, even. She went through the garage. There was stuff in the garage that hasn't been looked at in 8 years since we moved here from Washington.
Wow.
So getting rid of that, because sometimes what we see as abundance is actually just stuff cluttering up our existence. Um,
Can I
let's
share?
see. What was that?
Can I share something?
Yeah.
My friend was telling me, she said, you start a lot of things, but you don't finish. And some things, I feel like I'm Forrest Gump. You know, he'll run and run until he get tired of running. He say, "Okay, I'm not running anymore." So that's how I feel. Like I was making jewelry, and then I was creating poems and poetry. So when I just stopped abruptly, but I think it's okay if you trust in the process of the universe. My thing was when I'm creating jewelry, that opened up my creativity, and that was a time and a place for it.
Mhm.
And then maybe it's done now, but and that's okay. So it looks like you're not finishing things, but it was a time and a place, and then we learn to let go of that time because we're no longer there because we use that as a stepping stone to get to the next place in life, which now I'm creating more, I'm writing books and stuff like that. So I think it's good to open up. Things are there at the time, they're okay at that time, and then it's okay to let them go when you move to another place.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
that's where I
Thank you.
am with this. I'm at peace at, learn to let go of some things because they served a time. So we can be grateful for those times when we did do it, and it's okay to let it go.
Yeah. The other thing I find great joy in is teaching other people. You know, one of the reasons I have yarn sitting upstairs still is if people are around and they go, "Oh, you knit? I'd like to learn how to do that." I love to pass that on to other people, and that gives us, a bond and something shared together. There again, that's bringing about shared experience instead of just cluttering up my upstairs. So, what determines abundance?
Well, say that again. What was the purpose of abundance?
What determines abundance?
Personal choice.
I think it does come down to our choices. I think it also has a lot to do with our perceptions. You know, if I had a belief that um I don't know, that there was some purpose for that yarn.
A lot dang yarn. That's for
I know.
But there
But it's
is a
all
purpose.
it's all pretty.
We
yeah.
make a
There's a
hell of a
purpose.
lifeline. Let's make a lifeline with a bunch of them. That's great.
It brings me joy.
So,
But I've also
so
stopped buying it. I've really made a conscious choice to stop walking into yarn stores unless there's a real reason. Like if I'm working on something and I don't have the right color to finish it, then I may go back to a yarn store. But otherwise, I'm not allowed in there.
how do you not have the right color?
Well, you never know.
Didn't have color to finish it. And when was the last time you walked in a yarn store, Tanya?
Months. I think back to when it was Brenda's birthday because I got her a gift card.
Okay.
It was months ago, so that was July. But I did buy myself some yarn while I was there.
We all have our addictions.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
But,
it's all a work in progress.
Tanya, recognition is the first step. Sweet.
Exactly. Hi, I'm
So I
Tanya.
have an older sister that
Powerless.
is a Capricorn. Capricorns they're very organized. They're very conscious of time. And Linnell's Capricorn too. And I'm on the cusp of Capricorn.
Oh
The
my,
reason I tell you this is as she organizes, they have raised 6 children, 5 living literally in a very small, older place. And she could fit more into a small space than anyone I knew. And she would know exactly where everything was and how to get to it, all of it.
Yeah.
And as she has aged, she has made sure to downsize and to clear things through. And she said, and as my last gift to my children and my family, my loved ones, I can trust my daughter Heather with a box with a match in it. And anything that still needs to go, Heather will burn it. She will get rid of it. So I thought, okay, you got your plan in place. Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
So Tanya,
Wow.
you
Yeah.
said it was choice.
Yeah.
So your clutter, if you gave it to like the senior center where they're making quilts or crocheting, that
Yeah.
would be abundance to them.
Yeah,
So it's perception
absolutely.
and choice.
Yeah, perception and choice. That's awesome. Okay. So, that particular exercise really kind of reminds us what's important in our lives and to kind of question, is this abundance or is this just cluttering up my life? Or can I move on and hopefully find gratitude in the space? So it's kind of questions you can ask yourself as we move along. For closing tonight, for abundance and gratitude, I am so excited. We have a song that our technician Tyler McCormick just crafted for us, and it is amazing. And I heard it for the first time in the pre-party at 6:45. So please, I hope you all have ears to hear because I'm blown away and it's kind of catchy. It was catching in my head, so I'm excited about this. All right, Alan, take it away.
What will we attract when we make a path? What will we make last? Will it be good or bad? What is it we seek? The thing itself, or feeling that it brings if we switch the two? Would we celebrate then do? Would we choose gratitude? Would we choose gratitude? Would we choose gratitude? Giving and receiving are the same, following the universal way. More than just thankfulness, we sent creation out before us. As if things now ensued, it becomes the future's food. We'll choose gratitude, we'll choose gratitude. Gratitude, watch it move and take the shape is our caps, completing chromosomic wraps. Telomeres, we welcome you with grace, extending life through length. With happiness and faith, we choose gratitude. We choose gratitude. We choose gratitude. Gratitude, watch it move and take the shape of hope that it can prove. Gratitude, watch it move and take the shape of hope that it can prove. Gratitude, watch it move and take the shape of hope that it can prove.
Way to go, Tyler! Woohoo!
Yeah.
Wow, I hope Tyler makes that available for us all.
Isn't that amazing?
It
Awesome.
is.
I love it.
Can they sell it
Okay.
and give money to the Institute?
Yeah.
I wish we could. Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, so going forward tonight, just to recap, when things get tough, remember your tools and to have gratitude for even the hard times. That's where our biggest lessons are. So, and look at abundance in, in a little different way. Question, what am I abundant in? Ask yourself. Your brain will find it. What is abundance for you? And yeah. Ah, that was a great song. We have an abundance of talent in Rapid Eye Technicians.
Yes, we do. Thank you. Great class. Really enjoyed it. Everybody,
Yes.
thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Tanya, may I cut in for a
Sure.
moment? Is Marion still in here?
Yeah.
Marion,
Yes.
do you still deal with the chi machines?
They are no longer being sold in the US of A.
Really?